It's the Minute of the Apes, the podcast where we break down every damn dirty minute of Planet of the Apes movies. I'm your host, Richard. I want to thank my co-hosts, Sean and Todd. How are you guys doing today?
Yay, it's Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Thank you to the Star Wars Minute guys, Pete and Alex. You can find them at moviesattheminutes.com. Sean, what minute are we doing now?
Minute 80 with Taylor wanting to know how a mutant can send Zaius into a panic, and ends with Zaius asking if there's another jungle. And as a minute 80, we've still got our 2 living humans, 2 confirmed dead, a shrewdness of apes, and a gaggle of humans.
All right, so we've now added mutant into the conversation.
Lexicon,
here.
yeah.
Lexicon. Was mutant a common term? I mean, I'm used to the word mutant because of the X-Men.
Being a nerd, yes.
When did the first X-Men come out?
60s, 62, something like that.
Well, I wonder, did mutant become
mutation
something that was? That's the nuclear age. Did mutant become something
maybe.
that because of that idea of nuclear war and whatnot?
Googling mutant?
Yeah, I'm sure that the word mutant has an origin that is before the 60s.
Mutation comes from one thing, but to call someone a mutant.
Yeah, but we're so well versed in superhero lingo and jargon and such big fans of sci-fi and superhero culture. Well, mutant is a very popular word.
It does have a Latin definition, so it's from the early 20th century. So let's put it that way. So it's from the 1900s at least. So.
Well,
all right.
I mean, the idea of mutation was one thing, but to call someone a mutant, and so it does. You're right. It does feel very.
It's for the Latin definition is changing from the verb mutere. M-U-T-A-R-E. How
many beers have you had?
Mutere.
So we finished the last minute with Taylor kind of making the supposition. He goes, all right, suppose I'm a mutant. And then we kind of get the rest of that sentence. Why does the appearance of one mutant send you into a panic?
And this is where it gets into it, right here. Why it really
it's the
bothers
possibility
him.
of more mutations, because if I have one, I can have more.
What one person can do, another person can do, and what 2 people can do, everybody can potentially do.
Especially if that one is to mate,
then
they
mate
and they
that
teach.
Gene in there in the pool.
Well, and Zaius says it's the very next line, because you're not unique. There was the one you called Landon.
Oh, wait, I didn't. When he said that, I didn't even think of it in that manner. So Landon spoke to him.
And Taylor goes, then you admit it.
So I'm wondering
Son of a bitch.
So Zaius took care of Landon.
Yeah, he did.
Zaius saw the Landon threat and took care of that right there. For all we know, Zaius made the same request of Landon.
Ooh,
he gelded him and did the brain surgery.
Go, but you have to tell me where your tribe is. Now, we don't know that they had these conversations because, Taylor actually wrote words out and mentioned his Fort Wayne, Indiana, and those kinds of things. He's from another planet. We can speculate what Landon knew. But we do have this moment where Zaius says, there was the one you called Landon, and Taylor says, then you admit it. And Zaius says, I admit that where there's one mutant, there's probably another and another and another and another. But Zaius is recognizes that Landon on some level possibly spoke to
intelligently,
Zaius.
yeah.
So I can guarantee you what Landon said was, we had another guy's name was Taylor or Skipper, and he was an asshole.
If you cut him first.
But I also want to go back to that shot where Landon had the zipper on his head, and go back to the wide shot. Did he also have like a gauze pad on his nuts where they cut it away? Because did they geld him right away too? Is it just snip,
brain surgery?
So when we first see Zaius and he walks out into the yard where Taylor is at, and he wipes away the lettering that Taylor wrote down, I can write. Had Landon
written as well?
Had Landon unintentionally sent Zaius to take care of Taylor? Was that reveal of who Landon was, or how the conversations that happened behind that tipped off Zaius? So Zaius was not surprised when he saw I can write.
That is great.
I hadn't thought about that.
Great tie around.
I didn't know about the Taylor connotation until a couple minutes ago.
I mean, we can assume that Zaius is the one that had Taylor. Has his brain surgery, take out the talking. We can assume, maybe not. Maybe he didn't. Maybe it was just happenstance. But Zaius knew that Landon talked.
Wow.
He says it.
And then the questioning that comes up next really tickled me whenever Dr. Zaius goes, and where are your women? And then he goes like, Taylor, where are your women? And Taylor instantly goes, thank you. Do you not remember that?
So he says,
which I thought was him saying, "Where are your women? Thanks for asking me," instead of "Where are your women? Thanks for saying my name."
That's what he says. Yeah, the recognition. So in another, a nest of them. Where's your nest, Taylor? Where are your women? And Taylor pauses. Thank you for calling me Taylor.
Which again, this goes back to my idea: is this the softening of Taylor? Because suddenly they've dignified him with the name instead of Bright Eyes or a derogatory mutant
or the animal.
It's your Taylor.
Well, it's like in the past minute when I talked to how Cornelius talks to him one way, Zero talks to him another way, and Zaius is just like, Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
You're a mutant. I can accept this despite my religious beliefs or whatever I have on the society, whether I want to shut down.
I know you can speak. I know Landon can speak.
I know about Landon can speak, yeah.
Is this the most direct anyone's been in this film up to this point with Taylor by simply naturally referring to him as Taylor? Now, we've heard Landon and Dodge call him Taylor, but it still had the derogatory connotations where they were all fighting. And suddenly, after all that, where he's been our anti-hero, he's gone through all this stuff, he's gone through the Forbidden Zone, he's been captured, he's been put through all this subject, all this crap, and somebody simply calls him Taylor.
Find him.
And it's, you know, what is that? My name is Mr. Chips or whatever.
Mr. Tibbs.
Tibbs, thank you.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Yeah, it does to an extent. It has that feel of it where it's, oh.
Or you do a Morgan Freeman. They used to call me crazy. Now they call me Batman.
There was something in trying to think about this moment specifically in terms of race relations of this period of time, and the fact that the person who wanted to you would think would be most upset and alarmed at Taylor for being something unique or different is the one who recognizes his equality on some level, but needs to shut down the other people like him, and also take out the sympathizers in his own camp. Just something, that idea that he recognizes an equal, kind of.
Yeah.
And then just I've got to move past this. I can't let this exist.
I
don't know.
That's an interesting idea if you put it like kind of like what you were saying to the times. The behind the scenes moment you can have in a movie like a Mississippi Burning, where we've had it all about racism and all the horrible things, but then you get one person behind the scenes. They go, listen, the truth is you're a man no different than me, but to these people, you're a threat. And if you're a threat to them, you're a threat to me. You know, it's that kind of scene. I never thought of it in that way.
Which brings up with one of the next sentences that Dr. Zaius says about Taylor deservedly occupying the lowest level. Why does he deservedly do that?
Exactly. I guess that brings it back. I guess I didn't extend that just a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for calling me Taylor. Zaius, I know who I am. Who are you? How in the hell did this upside-down civilization ever get started? That's right. So civilization is turned upside down. We assume they're talking about, apes.
How did apes and humans flip?
How did that subvert? But if you take it in terms of like countries and territories, how did this position switch? And Zaius says you may well call it upside down since you occupy its lowest level and deservedly.
So why is he deserved to be on the lowest level?
He's bringing the idea of race back into this.
But help me understand why it's deservedly to call it an upside down world where you possess the lowest rung. Therefore, there's nothing upside down about it if I possess and I belong there.
I mean, isn't not the responsibility of the strong to take care of the weak, or the powerful to take care of the meek, or the rich to take care of the poor? Why is he deservedly on the lowest level? What has he done to deserve that?
So are there, besides Zira and Cornelius, are there human sympathizers among the rest of the apes? And therefore,
you mean ape sympathizers?
Human sympathizers.
Oh, they're sympathizing with humans.
They sympathize with humans. And that's why we have animal psychologists and zoos and
archaeologists
and things like that. That there are people that think of them on some level of existing and wanting to take care of them. I mean, Zaius is basically telling him he's the lowest level of what?
Right.
Not a farm animal, not a beast in the jungle. Maybe they do use them as slaves. Maybe there is something we haven't seen.
Yeah, because we've never seen any human outside of a cage or being hunted down. What any use they have for them? I mean, are we the rats? Are humans the rats of their society, where they use them for experimentation, and then the knowledge they learn is used on the rest of the ape society? I don't know.
Are we questioning the motivations of this moment incorrectly, in that We're not an audience in 1968 watching this without the foreknowledge of where this film's going to go and what it's going to mean. Because when we start questioning all the different places where humans belong, the upside-down nature of it, are we immediately looking at this and thinking we know kind of what the answer is? These people didn't. Sure. We've gone through and looked at the trailers before, which I've posted to our website in case you ever want to see it. It's pretty interesting. You look at it. The trailers are very different from what today's were, but they still gave you an idea of what you were going to see, but it still did not reveal the pop culture beats that even Sean, who's never seen this, knows. Right. Can we question what Taylor was, what the hierarchical position was without knowing that?
I don't know.
Does that make sense what I'm asking?
I do. If you're just a movie-going audience ready to watch the latest Charlton Heston film,
right?
You didn't necessarily walk into the theater thinking you were going to get a race relations,
right?
Societal commentary
at this particular moment, and maybe that's why it's not quite so pronounced in some of this thing. Maybe that's,
because it's meant to be as almost a toss away. It's just a matter of fact element of this world.
Since you occupy its lowest level,
right.
I don't know. And you had said there were a couple of scriptwriters. Do you think some of the original intent may be lost in this because
could be
people
watered down a little bit,
touching different points of it?
I mean, that's what you always run the risk of, and with jumping into films today when you have the thing going on about between Zack Snyder's version of Justice League to Joss Whedon's, where it becomes a little muddy. It didn't hurt my viewing of the film, but I can see where to some it'd be you find moments of logic where it's like that doesn't work in this. So it does make me wonder. I would love to see. And I don't think we'll ever get it, but I would love to see the versions of the scripts these guys did so we can begin to see what they gleaned from one and
edit notes here and there.
It's pretty interesting.
So after he says occupy its lowest level and deservedly so, he then pauses and Zaius actually adds, our eastern desert has never been explored.
Yeah, so...
Because we've always assumed that no life can exist there.
Why do they assume that? What is the thing that gives them that assumption? Just because life has never come from there, because they've explored and people die going out there? Why can life not exist there?
I don't know. And I guess I think there was a thought earlier where we talked about whether Zaius was trying to keep everybody within a particular area because of exploration of unknown places. But he's actually saying it's never been explored. That map we saw in Cornelius's office was very small.
Yeah,
it wasn't of an entire planet.
It wasn't a globe.
It wasn't a globe.
It wasn't even a continent.
And they find his idea of him coming from another planet ridiculous and flying ridiculous. And now this idea of our eastern desert has never been explored. We really get a sense of how small
their world is, maybe.
And it makes me wonder again, what is it that he wants to know? Is it that has he found other civilizations of even monkeys? Has he suppressed other monkeys out there who?
Yeah, right? Because if the eastern zone is a forbidden zone and nothing can live there, that means north, west, and south they have explored.
They have knowledge of,
and they know that things can live there, and who knows how far out those boundaries are.
Right.
But this one direction, nobody can live there.
So I'd be curious to look at that map again because, as I think I mentioned last week or something like that. That map, if you go and look at a map of Manhattan, they've obviously doctored a map of Manhattan. So what's to the east? Is that where Jersey is? Is that what they're saying is the bad shit is in Jersey?
I guess that would
New Jersey.
Would be, no, that's the west.
I can't really recall where.
East would just go straight into the water.
Yeah.
Into the ocean. Yeah. I mean, if we're assuming that the corresponding it's New York. Right.
The map could just be a clever, hey, let's take Manhattan and make that our map, but...
Well, do we have oceans on this world?
Is that the map?
Has the oceans become a desert?
Maybe.
So our eastern desert never been explored. That's because we assume there's no life can exist there. And then he pleads to him again, save yourself. Tell me, is there another jungle? Are we going to finish the sentence?
No.
Is there another jungle?
No, I will find out. Is there no
Sean's steadfast rules of
the stick to the minute, stick to the seconds.
So we cut off in the middle of a sentence here with Zaius, and he's making the tell me, is there another jungle? So, and it just kind of stops there. We have the concept of an eastern desert. We have the idea that Zaius thinks that he comes from a fort that he thinks that if there's one talking mutant, there's another and another and another. And you want to know about another jungle.
Right.
So